In example 1, we want to find the foci of the ellipse 9x squared plus 16y squared minus 36x minus 108 equal to 0. In order to find the foci, we need to look at the equation up above. So in order to find foci, we need the h, the c, and the k, no matter which one we decide to use, which formula we have. In order to find the h and the k, we need to know the center, which means we need to put it in that standard form. I've written the two standard forms down here so we can look at them at the same time. And so in order to do that, we need to go through and complete that square. So we're going to start by combining our x squareds and our y's together. I'm also going to go ahead and factor out the 9 in front of the x squared and the 16 in front of the y squared. So with my x squareds, I'm going to take out that 9, leaving me with x squared. And then if I take the x squared, or the 9, out of the 36, it's going to leave me with a minus 4x. And then I need to remember to save room to add that number to make it a perfect square. Then I'm going to factor out the 16 from my y squared, and that's going to leave me with y squared. And then again, with my y term, since I don't have one, I have nothing to factor out, so I'm just going to leave it like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and add that 108 over to the other side. So this is going to equal 108. Then I'm going to go through and complete my square. So the number that I want inside here, I'm going to take this middle number, divide it by 2, and square it. So I have 4 divided by 2, and I'm squaring that to give me my number I'm going to replace in there, which would be 4. And then I need to remember that because I added the 4 in here, and that 4 is getting multiplied by that 9, I also have to add that number over to the other side. So on the right-hand side, I'm going to also add that 36. And since I don't have to do anything with my y's, it's just squared already, there's no completing that square, I can leave that alone. And then I can go ahead and complete my square. So what I have is 9 times x minus 2 squared plus 16y squared equal to 144. And that 144 comes from adding together the 108 and the 36. Because I need my ellipse to be set equal to 1, I'm going to go ahead and divide everything by 144. So I'm going to divide everything here by 144. And simplifying that, I end up with x minus 2 squared over 16 plus y squared over 9 equal to 1. Now that I have this in that form, in my standard form, I can go ahead and find my foci. First thing I need to do is I need to figure out which equation I have. Do I have this first equation here on the left, or do I have the equation here on the right? Remember, the a is always bigger, and in the first one the a is underneath my x, and in the second one the a, the bigger number, is underneath my y. Since my a value is the 16, because 16 is bigger than 9, or sorry, a squared is 16, the a squared value of 16 is bigger than the 9, which tells us that I have the equation here on the left. So the foci that I need, the equation for that is right here. H plus or minus c, and then k. So I can get my h and my k from here. My h value is 2, and I know my k value is 0. So I know h is equal to 2, and I know k is equal to 0. And then what I need to do is I need to find the c value. The relationship of c is given right here. C squared is equal to a squared minus b squared. So I'm going to use that formula in order to find c. So I know c squared equals a squared, which is 16, minus b squared, which is 9. So I get c squared equal to 7, And then to get rid of that squared, I'd take the square root of both sides, so c would be equal to the square root of 7. So then my foci I will have two of them, so one where I'm adding and one where I'm subtracting. So I have h plus the c value, the square root of 7, comma my k value, which is 0. And I have h minus my c value, which is the square root of 7, comma my k value, which is 0. These right here are my two foci. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, you can move on to example 2.